name's Rachel from SewEasy Sewing Classes. Today I'm going to be giving you a few ideas of things to do with your old jeans when they get to the end of their life. We know that jean production is really bad for the environment, so some of the things we can do to help are avoiding overconsumption. Make the jeans that you've bought last for longer. Mend jeans if they get a little bit tatty and broken. Here's an example of some visible mended jeans. It's really on trend at the moment, and there's lots of different things out there and ideas for you to try for visible mending or creative mending techniques. How about getting together with a group of friends and having a jean swap? We continuously buy jeans looking for a better fit or a different style, and we all have too many pairs of jeans in our wardrobe, so how about having a little jean swap with a group of friends? And then really, if we have a pair of jeans that we can't think of anything else to do, I'm going to show you a few ideas of how to create your jeans into something completely new. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to have a go at making today is a gift bottle bag. It's a good idea for using up the legs of your jeans. This pair of jeans had really nasty stains on the knees, so they were no good to wear. So we're going to cover up the stain with a felt applique. I've just done a nice little heart here. All we need is a needle, some threads, maybe a pin. It's a good idea on something like a leg of a jean just to slide something inside so that you're not catching the back, because it's quite tricky to sew. I'm going to just put a couple of pins in place and then start sewing. So start from the inside. Just a simple little running stitch that we can do by hand along the edge. Having the book underneath just helps you from not sewing through the leg of the jeans. Do a little knot at the back. Cut the thread. And there's the applique done. Okay, so we're going to turn the jeans leg inside out so it's the wrong way. Put it nice and flat, and then on the sewing machine we're going to do a straight line of stitching just across the bottom. You could easily do this by hand if you haven't got a sewing machine. So just So there we have our straight line across the bottom. The next thing we need to do to give the bag a bit of structure and shape is to add some corners. So we're going to put your hand inside the bag and open out the corner the opposite way so that you've got a triangle across the bottom. I'm just going to put a pin in there to hold it together. Same on the other side. So pull it open, squash that flat. Pop a pin in. Again, I'm going to just sew across the corners on the sewing machine. Again, you could do this by hand. So there we have our corners stitched on the sewing machine. Final step is to turn your bag in the right way. Just Poke the corners out. I'm going to put my bottle in. Find yourself a nice ribbon. So we've had a project using the legs of the jeans, so now we're going to try and do something with the top half of the jeans. So we're going to try and make this pair of jeans into a new item of clothing. So I'm going to just cut on the inside leg seam just to open up the trousers. So they're now open. So the next thing you're going to need is a little unpicker, and we're just going to unpick this seam a little bit. So we just enough so that you can actually lay this piece down nice and flat. Okay, so this little curvy bit here we want to try and get rid of now, so we're just going to tuck it in and pin it down. And then we need to stitch down there just to secure that. So we're just going to do a little straight stitch down just to keep that together. So you can see I've made this into a top now, and I just need to decide the length that I want it, and then I'm going to cut around. Now I think I want to keep the pockets on, so I'll cut up back a little bit and cut around, kind of going for waist. So I've cut around the length that I want it. So now you've got the base of your top, you can customise it however you want to. I'm going to go with a fringed edge, so you just need to keep pulling away at the denim and go for a nice little cute fringing on the bottom. That takes a little bit of time, but just play around with it so you've got a nice cute little fringed edge. And I've got this nice vintage silk scarf, so I'm going to have a go at using this to add some straps, a little bit of interest. So I'll start like this, maybe go through the belt loops. Little bow at the front. My final project I'm going to show you today is how to make a recycled plant pot holder out of your old jeans. Okay, so here we have an old pair of jeans. This is a leg that I cut up earlier. I wanted to experiment with some reverse tie-dye using a bleach dye solution, and this is one I've done earlier, but there'll be instructions on the screen, so if you want to experiment you can have a go yourself. Okay, so we're just going to measure approximately 25 centimetres. It can be shorter if you want, it'll depend on the size, and it's just a simple quick cut across, sharp pair of scissors, nice straight line. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is turn the leg inside out, like so. Make sure it's nice and flat and straight, and then we're just going to sew across the bottom. If you haven't got a sewing machine, you could stitch it by hand, or if you can't do that, you could use a staple. So first line of stitching.